Hi guys, as most of you probably know already, I had my baby. I had him on Monday, July 21st at 11 p.m. So today's video is going to be all about my labor and delivery. So I just want to forewarn you that maybe some of these parts of my story might be a little TMI for some people. So if you just want to skip through this part, then go right ahead. So anyways, Sunday evening, throughout the night, I noticed I was leaking what looked to be amniotic fluid to me. It wasn't a lot, it was just like slowly leaking, and I've had that happen before when I was pregnant with Kiera, and it was amniotic fluid, and in the morning I got checked at the hospital and they had to induce me because once your water starts breaking, you have like a 12 to 14 hour grace period before infection starts, so that's why they usually tend to induce you after that time. So yeah, so I thought that was happening again. So in the morning, Ben took the day off work and he was like, today's a great day to have a baby, and we were all excited. We were like, this is it, like for sure we're having a baby today. And then I go to the hospital with him and the kids, and I get checked, and I'm in the waiting room, and they test the fluid or whatever it was, and then the doctor came back and told me that it's not amniotic fluid, that at this time of my pregnancy, because at that time I was 39 weeks pregnant, and I've never made it that far through my pregnancies before, so I didn't know what to expect, but she said when you're this close to the end of your pregnancy, you'll start having some discharge, and she said that's all it was. It was really clear, watery discharge. So she's like, sorry, you're not in labor, or it's not time to have the baby, it's time to go home. So she sent us home, and that was around like 11 a.m. we got home, and we were really disappointed. We thought like for sure we were gonna have a baby today. So, well, Ben took the day off work thinking we were gonna have a baby, so we kind of just hung out. I was really sad, so I took Riley for a bike ride. So we walked for just over an hour and came home and just hung out at home all day. And Ben took Kiera to his parents' house, and it was just me and Riley for the day. And then later on that evening, around, I don't know, 6:45, 7 p.m., we were sitting in the front yard playing with the neighbors and the kids and everything, and I felt a little something in my stomach, and I was like, whoa, what was that? And I wasn't really sure what it was, but it like kind of hurt, but not really. And I was like, I don't know if that was a contraction or not. I can't really remember what contractions felt like at the start. I know what they felt like at the end. It's like excruciating pain, but when they started to build, I couldn't really remember what it felt like. So I was like, I don't know if this is a contraction, but I'm just gonna time it because I'm bored and want to, and just see what happens. So we're sitting in the front yard, and like, I don't know, every 5 minutes I was getting this little pain, and I was like, this is weird, this isn't, I don't know if this is normal or not. And then I would time it, but it was only for like 10 seconds long. And then a couple hours went by, and it was the same thing, nothing more, like nothing intense, nothing hurting or anything. And then I think it was around, I don't know, 9 o'clock. Me and Riley were in the house for the night, and we were watching TV, and then I felt something, and I was like, whoa, that really hurt. And then it was happening like every couple of minutes, and I was like, okay, this has to be contraction, like this is really starting to hurt. So I was walking around the house, and it was like getting worse and worse, and then all of a sudden I sat down and it stopped. So I googled it, and I read online that it's false labor if you sit down and the contractions stop hurting and they just stop altogether. So I was like, dang it, I thought these were real contractions. So I got up and I started walking around the house again, and they came back. So I did that, and they got worse and worse. And then I think after like 30 minutes of doing that, then I started crying. They were getting so painful. And then I tried sitting down to see if they would stop because they were just hurting so bad. I was like, I just want them to stop for a minute. And they didn't stop. So that's how I knew. I was like, hey, these are real. So I called Ben, and it was like, shortly after 9 at this point. I'm like, where are you? Like, I think I'm having real contractions. Like, I think I'm in labor. And he's like, oh, I was just chatting. I'm on my way home. So he rushes home. And then as soon as he gets home, I call my mom. I'm like, I think you should get here. Like, I think you should watch the kids. We're going to go to the hospital and go get checked out. And she's like, hey, I'll be right there. My mom was 25 minutes away. The pain got so unbearable that I couldn't wait for her. We asked our neighbor to come over to our house and watch our kids while Ben and I just booked it. We just couldn't wait any longer. Okay, so as we were driving to the hospital, we hit a red light and Ben's like, I'm gonna run it, I'm gonna run it. I'm like, no, it's okay, like, we have time. The hospital's 15 minutes away, like, we have time. And then I was just like, you know what, how many times is your wife pregnant and in labor and you have a real legitimate excuse that you can run red lights? So I was like, okay, just go. So we ran a red light and it was so funny. I'm laughing and then I start crying because I'm having contraction. And it was just like, I think the drive to the hospital was the most exciting part of my labor. It was hilarious. So we finally get to the hospital and they they put us into a room, and the nurses come in and then they check me, and she's like, well, you're 6 centimeters dilated, you're not going home tonight. At this time it was about 10 after 10 at night, and I was like, oh my gosh, we're gonna have a baby like tomorrow. Like, July 22nd is gonna be the date of our new baby's birthday. It was just crazy to think that. So I'm having contractions, and then every contraction that I was having, it like felt like I had to push. Like, it would happen and I was like, I think I have to push. And then she's like, do you have to push? I was like, I don't know, I'm just in so much pain, I don't know. I'm like, can I just get an epidural and then I can think straight? And then by the next contraction I was like, I really have to push. Right after that, the doctors came in and everyone was setting up and getting ready to go. I'm like, yeah, I really have to push. And then I think I pushed for like, I don't even know, 15-20 minutes or so. It's all a blur when you're in so much pain and you're just like focusing on getting the baby out. But yeah, the baby, I had a few pushes and then the baby came out at 11:06 p.m. So from the time we were admitted into the hospital to the time that the baby was born, it was 1 hour. It was unheard of. I had no idea that it was even possible to have babies that quick. It just seems crazy to me that it was only an hour. Like, it still blows my mind. But yeah, so once the baby was born, well, he was 8 pounds 8 ounces, 21 inches long, and yeah, just a healthy, happy baby boy. The only concern that they had was that because he came out so fast, he didn't have time to get out all the fluid from his lungs. So he wasn't really breathing that well on his own. He was breathing like kind of fast. So they put him up to a mask and just held him there for a minute and then put him on my chest, and he and then right from there we just went into breastfeeding and he latched on no problem. I was just like such a perfect little baby. And then that night I didn't have anyone stay with me because, well, I just thought Ben would be more comfortable if he slept at home. Plus I knew what I was doing. I can take care of the baby all by myself. I didn't need him to stay there with me. So that night he slept like the whole night. Like, I went to bed around 1 a.m. and he slept all night. He woke up once, he was like choking and I patted him on his back, and then all like the liquid, like I don't know, like all the stuff that was stuck in his lungs all came up onto my shoulder, and I was like, oh well, that's good because we wanted that to come out. So yeah, after that he ate for a little bit and then slept until like 7 a.m. Like, he just slept all night, which is really strange because Riley and Kiera, when they were first born, they never slept at all at night. They were crying the whole night. But yeah, so, and then I left that following day. Everything was good to go. We brought him home, and ever since we've been home, he's been an amazing baby. I honestly didn't think babies could act the way he acts. Like, he just sleeps all day, and then he's up for an hour and he'll eat, and then he goes back to sleep. He's just crazy. I even told the nurse, I was like, are you sure this is my baby? Because my babies don't act like this. They cry all the time, and they're constantly feeding. They're always eating. And yeah, so far this baby has been perfect, to the point where I'm almost a little worried. I'm like, do babies normally sleep this long? Like, what is going on? It's just really weird. It's now been 10 days and he's still sleeping through the night. He'll get up, I don't know, maybe twice, maybe 3 times to eat, and then he's back to bed. And he'll go to bed at like 9 or 10 at night when we go to bed, and then he wakes up at like 9 a.m. and he's up for like an hour to eat, and he's sleeping again. So, well, I don't know if you guys want me to share with you about after the delivery now, like what I'm going through, or if I should make a separate video for that. You should let me know, because I would totally be okay with making another video for that. But I will show you my postpartum tummy. It's been 10 days, so that can give you an idea of where I'm at. And it's not pretty, so, but if you want to see, I'll show you now. So that's it from the front, and that's it from the side. So I still have the little paunch, and it's still really mushy, and the skin's still really loose and gross, but for the most part, I mean, it's not bad. So this is what he does all day long. Sometimes he's into the bassinet or the swing. Oh, are you waking up? He's waking up. Yeah. He looks so grumpy. Jake, you're so tired. Here he is. It's Jake Jaden McCall. So he is 10 days old, and he's now a little bit past his birth weight. He was 8'8", and now he's 8'10". So he did lose quite a bit of weight when we brought him home, but now he's back up. And he's just so tiny. You forget how small they are. They're just the tiniest little things ever. That's so cute. He's such a good little baby. And he's got blonde hair, which is strange. I thought for sure he would have had dark hair, but alright, that's it for today's video. I hope you guys liked it, and I'll see you guys in another week or two with another update video on how Jake and I are doing.